talk about some high-stakes games not involving the Dallas Cowboys. Cedric, yes, the Cowboys are home for the playoffs, but NFL playoffs hitting that divisional round this weekend after a fantastic wild card round. But let's start with the most high-stakes game out there, that being in the college ranks on Monday night as Clemson and LSU meet, the Tigers versus the Tigers for a national championship. Who is going to win this thing? There was a great semifinal. We knew LSU, Ohio State was going to, Clemson, Ohio State was going to be great. It was. LSU wins in a landslide against Oklahoma. We'll talk about the Big 12 in a second. But who you got winning this national championship game on Monday night?
I got the Tigers. I mean, they have to win.
Of course you do.
The Tigers have to win this game, Jen. Give me the Bayou Bengals to win this game. And it's a tough call, Jen. Because if Clemson figures out a way to win this game, you have to view this as one of the greatest two-year runs in the history of the game. 25-0 in the last two seasons. Trevor Lawrence has never lost a game at Clemson. And Dabo Swinney's talking about, we're getting disrespected. They say the ACC is not very good. Trevor Lawrence is way better than he was as a freshman. You'll see. And I'm telling you, I picked Ohio State to win that semi, and they got robbed by that fumble that wasn't. But I have got so much respect for Trevor Lawrence. He got blown up, and then he gets up 2 minutes later and goes 60 yards to the house. So I think it's a great matchup. Joe Burrow, for my money, is the best player in the country. I voted for him for the Heisman Trophy, and he's done nothing to disprove the notion that he is the elite player in the game this season, 79% completion rate. So I think it's a wonderful matchup. I think that the LSU secondary is going to be good enough to keep those receivers at bay. I think the pass rush is going to get there. I think it's a fourth quarter game, Jen. But in games like this, and I've said it to you before, you always go with the better quarterback. Do we really know who the better quarterback is? That's what makes it so intriguing. Yeah. I'm a betting man, but I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me today, I'm going to go LSU by 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a great. I think it's another great game. I think it's in the vein of Ohio State and Clemson, and as we saw in that semifinal. I think it's going to be that sort of end of the game, fourth quarter type of game. I think Clemson, obviously, we just didn't know how good Clemson was. The ACC is down, and it is getting disrespected because it isn't as good as some of these other conferences. So we just didn't know. Is Clemson the type of team that can really go toe-to-toe with an Ohio State, with an LSU? They did it against Ohio State. I would not be surprised to see Clemson win this game, but I'm going with LSU too, Cedric. And, I think it really does come down, in my mind, to the quarterback play. I just think Joe Burrow is right now superior to Trevor Lawrence. And I think Trevor Lawrence is a great player. But Joe Burrow, just so confident, shredded the SEC for much of the season, shredded Oklahoma, which was at a deficit in the defense with some guys suspended, and then different things that happened during the game. But no excuses. He was pinpoint. Who knows what he could have done had he played the whole game. I was surprised he was out there as long as he was, frankly, because there was no question LSU was winning that game. And his health and safety, I thought, man, the last thing you want to see is a guy get hurt at a time when the game is really out of hand. But he didn't get hurt. He's fine. Those receivers are fine. I think that offense is going to be really tough for Clemson to handle. But I would not be surprised to see this game go either way. I do like LSU in the same vein as you talk about, Cedric, less than a touchdown. I don't think this game's a double-digit game by any stretch of the imagination, no matter how you look at it.